Hi, I'm Barbie and this is my thought for the week. I seem to spend an inordinate amount of time picking off hairs off my dark clothing I wear to work or out of my hairbrush. If I don't clean my hairbrush every day, this is what it looks like. I seem to have so much hair, and I was wondering the other day, how much more hair can I lose before people start noticing? Do you know, the average person has between 90,000 and 150,000 hairs on their head. I think I must be on the upper end, and I'm sure there's some people who have no hair that must be down the bottom end. Do you know, it made me think of a verse in the Bible, which is in Matthew 10, verse 29 to 31. It tells me that sparrows are bought for a couple of coins, and God knows every one of them and knows if one of them falls. It also says in verse 30 that God knows the very hairs on my head. He knows each and every one of them, and that they're numbered. This makes me feel really loved. I also know that in Jeremiah 1 verse 5 it says that God knew me before I was even formed in my mother's womb. He knew me. He knew me before I was conceived. Then in Psalm 139 it tells me that He knew me as I was being formed in my mother's womb. He decided my days before I even had one of them. He knew as every bone was formed and as every ligament was formed. And before I even started breathing, He knew how many breaths I would take. That tells me that God really loves me. I read also in Matthew 6 that God says, I mustn't worry about a thing, because even though He cares for every single one of the birds in the sky and really loves them, He will care for me even more. He will love me even more. He cares for me and knows my needs and my wants, and wants to give me what I need, and that I don't need to worry anymore. I know that there's some of you out there who will be thinking, yeah, but you don't know what I've done. God might have loved me when I was still in my mother's womb, but He can't possibly love me anymore because of all the things I've done wrong. I read in Romans 5 that God says that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. He didn't wait for us to become good people before He died for us. He died for each one of us while we were still sinners. God loves you. He loves you enough to number each one of the hairs on your head. So next time I look at my hairbrush and look at all this hair, or pick a hair off one of my pieces of clothes or off my laptop, I'm going to think, God knows about that one. God loves me that much. Be blessed today.